Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. So, off screen, I went ahead and made the AI deck. It's now completely randomized with the exception of ground fighting, which is currently in play. I have it shown right there. I've also removed the one wound to kind of show that that mood's in play. It's going to come back the moment we get rid of it, but it's there for to be right. Also, I went ahead and moved the grass to kind of be in a better position. Or at least what I think is a better position, and we can go ahead and officially start the battle. The monster goes first. It's not going to draw an AI card because it has ground fighting active, so it's now our turn. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to say we're going to keep acting until we actually start attacking it. So, I'm going to go ahead and have... God, our guys are so wounded. Elise, I'm going to send her down, and I'm going to go ahead and have her search. So 1d10. 10. That will get us a broken lantern, so go ahead and add that to the list. But if you want to see it, yeah, 6+ is all we need to get a broken lantern resource. So the good news is we got it on our first roll. Okay. Oh, we don't need to do that. Getting all mixed up. My apologies. As you can see, I'm recording this at 1 a.m. But I don't know. When I watched Hit Point Games, Gaming or whatever, actually do his stuff, I was kind of motivated to try this again. I've attempted to record this a few times. A few times I fumble over my words, like always. But also every time I've played this game and messed with it some, I found new ways to improve the layout and stuff like that. Like originally I didn't have this board, and I didn't have the hunt board. I just had little boxes like these ones here. So little by little I improved this UI a little bit. Anyway, enough rambling. Reimu, I'll have you search next. 7, that's enough for another Broken Lantern resource. So good news is we got everything we needed. If we roll low, we can get vermin resources, which for the most part, vermin are useless, except for like cooking in most cases. So we're not gonna, also we'll take damage to the arms if we do that. So yeah, we don't really want to mess with that. For the time being, everyone else, I'm gonna move Yuka there, and I will go ahead and move Chiri there. I can move there as long as I don't act. The cat won't do anything. So that would be pretty much the first. Well, like I said, there's nothing we really need to worry about. So I'll go ahead and just start doing everything else I need to do to get set up. Reimu, get there, just in case. And all right. So Elise is going to spend an action to climb up on top of this. And now she has 8 range and +2 accuracy with her darts. So she hits on 5s with her darts now instead of 7s. And darts hit pretty good. So as long as we don't get a trap card and as long as she doesn't fail to wound, we should be okay. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just roll a bunch of attacks. Because for right now, Elise is outside the kill zone range and she has a ranged attack. So Elise is going to go ahead and attack. Alright, that is a hit. I need to do a 1d23 like before. 22. Okay, there's 22. Close these out for now. Monsters, White Lion, hit locations 22. That is the Straining Neck. That has no danger for it. Alright, so strength of the bone darts is 3. So 1d10 plus 3. I wound on 8s instead of 6s now. That is a wound. So top card of the AI deck gets removed. And ground fighting gets removed. I'm just going to drag it down here for right now, just to keep it out of the way. So this would, removing the mood would bring this back, and then the wound that we just did would just bring it, officially remove it. So 9 cards left, and ground fighting's been removed. So with this, we can now freely attack. So I'm going to go ahead and have Yuka attack next. Yuka is using a Bone Blade. It has accuracy of 6. But I'm attacking from the blind spot, so it has accuracy of 5. So 2d10, because it has speed 10. By the way, the bone darts have a speed of 1, that's why I only rolled once. 2 hits, 2d23, 14 and 15. These first few rounds are going to be pretty key. So Scapula Deltoid, and the tail. Both of these pretty much do the exact same thing. The White Lion will charge forward. The difference is the Beast Tail is it's going to trigger unless I crit. The deltoid will trigger only if I fail the wound. So I'm going to go ahead and do deltoid first and hope for the best. So 1d10 plus 2, because sword is 2 strength. Also, thanks to her luck of 1, she crits on natural 9s and natural 10s. And that's a failure. And that's going to go ahead and send this white line moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any attacks that are now out of range are now cancelled. So the second hit didn't happen. So that kind of sucks. What I can go ahead and do, though, is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get in position there. And yeah, that's pretty much, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, out of range. It was worth a shot. All right. Well, at this point, it is now White Lion's turn, so I'll go ahead and draw a card. Alert. Okay, this is interesting. So I just drew another mood card. So this is Alert. It's another advanced card. When survivors moves into a space with the zone of death, stop their movement, they gain the priority target token. Discard Alert and perform basic action. So this will stay active until the monster is knocked down, or until someone triggers this. So this thing is like a little alarm thing where if you move too close to the cat or move around the cat, it will stop you immediately, and the cat will wreck your face. It doesn't get any buffs to the damage though, so that's the good news. Also, I can outrange this attack, so that's the other good news. So Alert's going to go ahead and become active now. So there's Alert. We'll go ahead and put this in. I was not like I said, this is completely random, so I didn't really know what cards are in here besides ground fighting. So we'll go ahead and remove that wound, because this card's now no longer in play. Alright, so with that said and done, let's go ahead and continue. So at this point, the zone of death is essentially 4 spaces, which is pretty far actually, because it goes diagonals as well in this case. Yeah, it goes diagonals. So essentially this far. And that is too far away. We can't actually get to it. What about this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it says specifically if you move into a space with the zone of death. So I can move out of it safely. Now the cat's not going to sit still. He's just going to... So what I'm going to go ahead and do is have Reimu get out of there. And then have... Yuka go ahead and move in a little bit. Because at this point I won't really be able to do much else. Because even if I move Chiori up, her range is only 8. She can't get a shot off. I could throw a Founding Stone, but I'm not that desperate yet. So we're going to go ahead and just play this by ear still. So next, it's the monster's turn again. Monster's turn is I've gotten every freaking advanced card so far. So Smart Cat. So the way Smart Cat works is reveal the top 10 AI cards one at a time, put the first 2 mood cards revealed into play, then shuffle the deck. If no cards have been put into play, just draw an AI card after it's all done. Well, I can officially say that there is no other moods, but since I get to reveal the top AI cards one at a time, I get to see what the entire deck is now. So I now know that there's a Vicious Claw, a Combo Claw, a Size Up, a Chomp, a Power Swat, and a Grasp. So no claws, surprisingly enough, and most of these aren't too bad. Most of these actually have a speed of 1. The big thing is probably the Size Up, and probably the Combo Claw, because that can get pretty messy. But we do have a mood. We do have ground fighting, which is in the discard pile. So we go through the discard pile, and bam. Now ground fighting is active again. So this gets removed, and now the cat's not going to move at all. Now the other additional thing is it says to archive Smart Cat, which means this gets completely removed from the game. It can't be healed, it can't be done, nothing can be done, which means this wound gets removed as well. So right off the bat, the cat's actually doing more damage to itself than we are to it. So at this point, its turn is over, and now at this point, it's a little bit more tricky, because I'm gonna have to get Elise down from where she's at if I want to take advantage of things like ground fighting and all that. So, well, at this point we can freely move, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll just do some moving. So yeah, Elise can't shoot from here. It's too far away. But I can get her into the grass, so there's that. Well, actually I can't do that either. I would have to move right there. I would have to move in this location there. Sorry, I'm pretty zoomed out. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was all zoomed out because everything's been like in ranged. So what I can do is actually move Elise here. That actually puts her in range for the attack there. 6, because of range 6. So at this point, I only hit on 7s, which is annoying, but I can just keep attacking until I hit, because he's not going to. The white line's not going to draw any cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and just assume that I get a hit in, and I'll just roll a 1d23. 12. That's just me saving time at this point. Oh, great, the paw. That's not good. Alright, so if we fail to wound this, the cat's going to move, do basic action on us, and its attack will gain +2 damage. This can potentially kill Elise very, very quickly. So, let's see what we can do. 1d10 + 3. Alright, we've successfully wounded. Congratulations. Now, what I can, like I said, I could pass turns as much as I want as long as the cat thing is going, so I'm assuming I'm doing this as a first action, and then I'm going to move to get away from this thing. So, remove the top card of the AI deck, gets removed. Ground fighting gets put in the discard. Oh, sorry, gets put in the discard pile. So that means this goes back, and then 1 wound causes this to go there. And ground fighting gets removed. So the good news is we caused a wound, and we don't get hit with freaking Beast Ball. And then for her movement, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get her out of there. I'm still not going to do any movement because Alert's still active, and so it's going to be the cat's turn. I'm playing this very, very safe. Alright, next card is Vicious Claw. Random survivor and range. The only survivor that's actually in range is Yuka. No, actually, sorry, everyone is in range. I'm lying. So, 1 is, I'm going to roll 1d3. 1 is Yuka, 2 is Reimu, 3 is Chiri. Alright, Chiri. Out of all the targets, I didn't really want to go for that one. Okay, so it's going to go 2 attacks. And accuracy is 2, but Chiri's in the tall grass, so it's now 4s. So 4 plus will hit. 2d10. 1 hit, 1 miss. Roll hit location. And this is to the arms. I will go ahead and have a Chiri take that damage to the arms. And the additional effect that's listed here is it says target gains 1 bleed token. So what will happen there is I take one of these tokens, and that'll mark that I have 1 bleed. If you get 5 bleed tokens, you will die. That's it. Not much else to say about that. Alright, one thing I want to check at this point is for alerts. Can I... Whenever moves into a space. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I climb onto this, it counts as a move. But in any case, I could probably just attack from here. So I will go ahead and attack with Elise first. So 1d10, I hit on 7s. And I hit somehow. 1d23. Ah, here it is. Trap card. 1 is the trap card, in this case. So in the deck, in the hit location deck, there's a trap card that's shuffled in. A trap card will cancel all your hits, no matter what. it will reshuffle the hit location deck, so all these numbers here no longer matter. And it will do a certain effect, a nasty effect based off the monster. In this case, all it does is it's going to doom the attacker, which means they can't use any survival points. And it's just going to move, the monster's just going to move and perform basic action. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it just trampled over Yuka, so she's been knocked down. So I'll go ahead and mark her as knocked down. And yeah, that is pretty much it for that. And now now it's going to attack her twice because of basic action. So 2d10, both hits, 2d6. That is arm and arm. So Chiori's going to take. That's not. Sorry, not Chiori. Elise is going to take 2 damage to the arms, which is going to knock her down as well. All right, so that's annoying and not great. Now, one thing we can do is I'm going to have Chiori go ahead and spend a survival point to encourage Elise back to her feet. And then, oh, actually, I can't do that yet. No. To be honest, she's kind of screwed either way. I can get her back on her feet, but if she moves, it triggers alert. So she might as well just lay there and hope to God that the next card does not focus on her. All right. But one thing we can do is have Chiori go ahead and spend a survival point to go hit, which I just spent, to get Yuka back onto her feet, which is also risky. But it's kind of our only option at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 attacks with Yuka. I hit on 5s. Both hit. 2d23, 10 and 18. This is a fresh deck, so I don't have to worry about any rerolls. So 10 and 18. 10 is the knee. That is safe. And 18 is the gut. Which, if this fails, the monster will counter. All right, we'll go for the knee first, obviously. So 1d10 plus 2. That is a wound. Go ahead and remove the top card. So it should be down to 5 cards left. It is. Yep. So if we remove those 5 cards and do one more wound while alert's still active, that will count as a kill. All right, next attack. Another wound, so we don't have to worry about getting countered, and that removes the next top card. So that's good. 4 cards left. Alert's still active, because we haven't knocked him down and no one's moved. I can't seem to get it to turn around. Tell you what, there's not really much we can do. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and just pass the turn and see what happens. If Elise gets hit, it happens. Next card is Grasp. Grasp, closest knockdown survivor in range, which is Elise. Now what this will do is it's a speed 1 attack, hits on 2s, does 1 damage, and after you do damage, you grab the what will happen is you move the white line and drag the player with them. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to run away from everyone, isolating that one particular character. Also, being dragged away will do 1 damage per monster level, so essentially that's a lot of nasty stuff. Alright, that's a hit, but the one thing you could definitely do while you're knocked down is you can dodge. So I'll go ahead and spend 1 survival point to dodge it. So that's the good news. Alright, that is the end of the monster's turn, which means that will end the knockdown. Generally getting knocked down during a counterattack is kind of safe for the most part, and my connection's been interrupted. That's annoying. Alright, give me one moment. Oh, it got fixed. Never mind. Okay, so it's now our turns. Elise can attack. It's not exactly the safest thing, but she can't really do much else because she's kind of stuck. But tell you what, I'll have Yuka attack first because might as well. So 2d10 hits on 5s, 1 hit, and 1d23, 17. 17 is the tricep. If it fails, it will counter us. So 1d10 plus 2, I hit on 8s. That is a fail. So this will make it turn around and make 2 attacks against Yuka. Yuka is in the tall grass, so that accuracy of 2 is now at 4, and she also has that connection bonus from her armor. So that'll give her +1 evasion as well. So now the monster hits on 5+ instead of 2+. So 2d10, 1 hit. 1d6. That is the body. I'm going to go ahead and have Yuka dodge that because her armor's already been shredded off. Okay, so with that all said and done, I'll go ahead and have Chieri attack next. She hits on 6s now because she's attacking right in the blind spot. Hits. 1d23, 18. That's been done. I have to reroll. Really? Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we can go ahead and reshuffle this. That's the trap card again, by the way. The good news is, since this is supposed to be technically a deck of cards, but since for all the monster hit location decks, I always have the trap card as number 1. So I always know if I roll a 1, I screwed up. Alright, 2d10. Let's see what happens now. Only 1 hits, because he did roll a 1. The rule of 1 and 10 do apply in this game. A 1's an automatic miss, and a 10 is a automatic hit. Same thing for wounding. Alright, so 1d6. I can't dodge. Chieri does take a severe injury to the body, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and roll 1d10. That is a 7. Severe injuries, body. 7 is ruptured spleen, a vicious body blow. Skip the next hunt and gain 2 bleed tokens. Alright, so at least there. There you go. I keep clicking Chieri for some reason. Skip next hunt, 2 bleed. Could have been worse. Could have been much worse, definitely. But yeah, the alert's still active, and it's now our turn again. Chieri is still on her feet, because the severe injury did not actually knock her down. Okay. Yuka, do your thing, please. 2d10. 1 hit, because she's attacking from behind. 1d23. 15. 15 is the tail. That's not good. That has a reflex on it. Alright, 1d10 plus 2. That is a fail. And now it's going to charge forward and drag Elise away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to put her like right there and knock her down. It's also going to do 1 damage to her. To the arms, which is also going to cause a severe injury for Elise, because Elise already has a severe injury in the arms. So we roll another 1d10. This time it's a 9. This is for the arms. 9. Dislocated shoulder. Pop. You cannot activate two-handed or paired weapons or use block until Showdown ends. Gain 1 bleed token. Alright, she's not using any of those, so that's fine, but she's now at her 3rd bleed token, which is not great. Okay. So yeah, that happened. That's hold on a second. Did I screw up? I did. I was supposed to do a monster action first, so let me do that first. Let me rewind. I'll keep the rolls for what actions we just did. So as long as Yuka doesn't get screwed over, it shouldn't matter. Alright, so sorry about that, I went kind of out of order. So the next card that the AI had was Size Up. I'll go ahead and show that to players. Random threat in field of view. That is only Reimu and Chieri. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1d2. 1 is Reimu, 2 is Chieri. It's Reimu. So what's going to happen instead is actually it's going to rotate. So actually I'm going to have to rewind a bunch of stuff. I apologize, because I screwed that up. I know that's going to be rewound. I got a little ahead of myself. Alright, so what this does, size up, is turns to face the target and attempts to stare down the prey. Roll 1d10 on a 4+, it will do 1 brain damage and knock the target down. Alright, does 1 brain damage to Reimu. Reimu has no longer insane, but she does get knocked down. Okay, Elise can get back up. And I did technically have Yuka attack next. I probably wouldn't have initially, because I would have tried to get that line to get turned around. But she rolled a 5 and a 3, and that won't actually hit a line from the side, because the accuracy of a sword is 6. So that's why at least I didn't get dragged away and all that good stuff, which also means I didn't actually draw the tail, so I won't mark that either. Okay, so sorry about that. I keep getting alerts mixed up with ground fighting. It's just something I always end up messing up on. Speaking of ground fighting, it's still in the deck, or still in the discard pile, which means they'll eventually get it again. Alright, with that said and done, let's so Yuka's done her attacks. I still can't really move. Reimu's right now knocked down, which is completely okay at this point. I'll go ahead and attack with Elise. I hit on 7s. It does hit 1d23. 16. Alright, if it fails, it's going to do basic action, which will probably kill Elise. 110 plus 3. Yep. Alright, so it's going to turn and face us and start wailing on Elise some more, because poor Elise. Both hits. And both to the body. Now, this is just going to do 2 damage to the body, which is just going to cause one severe injury. You can have multiple severe injuries if they're in different locations in the same attack. But if it's the same location, it's just all going to get added up. So 1d10, 8. What happens to you now? Body, 8. Slash back. Make a sudden movement is excruciatingly painful. You cannot use Surge until Showdown's end. Gain 1 bleed token. Okay. So Elise is really tanking this pretty well. I mean, this is her second, yeah, it's her second, freaking, wait, what was the other location? Oh, wait, sorry, I looked at the wrong one. That was Flashback. 8's broken rib. I still get the bleed token, but I also suffer -1 permanent speed. This injury is permanent and can be recorded multiple times. So that happened. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, I got completely confused. So yeah, I did it correctly. So before it was Ruptured Spleen, so it was 2 bleed tokens and skip next hunt, which is what she got. Now she got a broken rib, so she's now at -1 speed. You always get at least 1 attack with any weapon, so honestly this doesn't hurt her at all as far as using the darts is concerned, but for using anything that's faster than 1 speed, it is actually a pretty significant debuff because it means 1 less attack. But I can still mark it as broken rib. You can get this multiple times, and this can be healed through certain means. So that's been taken care of. So with that said and done, she's now, yeah, so that's all correct. So sorry about that, got all jacked up. Okay. And that was, so that was the 2 attacks there. That was for the wound. That was failure to wound. Attack there. And that. Okay, so yeah, it did the size up. I attacked with Yuka. She missed with both her attacks. And then Shiori failed the wound and got countered. Okay, so we're back up to speed. I apologize. What screwed it up was the fact I skipped one of the lion's turns, so that happened, I guess. Anyway, just making sure I'm still recording. Looks like I am. Alright. I'm shuffling the deck, because I ran out of cards. So there's 4 cards left, and let's see what we get. Top card. Ground fighting, go figure. So, ground fighting comes into play. And this is the part where we're going to have to do something about this, because we're at the situation now where if I move, alert triggers. If I attack, ground fighting triggers. The monster's action does end, so we'll go ahead and get Reimu back up. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have Reimu throw her, throw the darts. Or throw her, one of her founding stones. So I will throw a founding stone. This is an auto hit, so I just need to roll 1d23 and not roll a 1. That's a 22. 22 is the neck. Okay. You strike the monster, strike at the monster's throat. This is an auto crit, so it's going to, I get to roll on the table below. 1d10. 8. Paralyzed, the monster is knocked down. Okay, so we do take the top card and remove it, like so. We did cause a wound to the monster, so ground fighting gets removed. We also knocked it down, so this removes alert. So these two get back. So there are still 4 cards left, but 2 of them are moods. So there is that going on for us. And let's go ahead and mark this as knocked down. Okay, so that was Reimu's action. Reimu can go ahead and fall back a little bit. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and have. I'm gonna have just a. Well, I'll have Elise just get out of the way for now. I'll move here and then climb on top. Same distance away? No, actually, I'll have Reimu move here, so they're both equal distance. That way, if stuff happens, stuff happens. Okay. Next is Yuka. I'm gonna have Yuka move over to the side. And then attack twice. The monster is knocked down, so I hit on 3s no matter what. Both hit. And trap card. Now, if a trap card triggers, the monster does get back up. So, unfortunately, all of that got undone immediately. Impressive. We've gotten a lot of trap cards. That was like our 4th one. So, have fun with RNG. Alright, so it's going to go ahead and attack with basic action, 2d10, both hits, body and legs. So Yuka's going to take 1 damage to the body and 1 to the legs. She cannot dodge it because she is doomed. Ah! All the wrong buttons. There. This is what I get for doing this at 1 a.m. Alright, this does knock her down. And yeah, there's not much we can do here. I'm going to go ahead and try to make my attacks here with Chiri. Chiri is heavily wounded as well, but 2d10 I hit on 6s, because using a freaking stone shard. Both missed. And that is everyone's actions. So that means Cat goes next. Cat drew Grasp. Alright. I think I technically get my evasion bonus when I'm knocked down, I think. I'm going to go ahead and check that real quick. Luckily, there's a glossary on this thing. So, when I'm knocked down, H-I-J-K, knocked down, survivor may only spend survival to dodge and cannot spend activation or movement. Yeah, I still have my evasion. So, this will attack the closest knockdown survivor, which is Yuka, and this will hit on 5s. So 1d10 hits on 5s, and it hits anyway. I'm going to dodge it. I'm not going to even bother rolling a hit location. I have to dodge this. So Yuka is out of survival. Okay, and that ends its turn. Yuka, go ahead. Will stand up, and yeah, we're now in this trouble. So I don't know what the next card is, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be fun. I'll have Elise attack. So 1d10. I hit on 5s now, because I'm now standing on top of the stone thingy. And missed. Chiri's going to attack next. 2d10. Hits on 6s. 1 perfect hit. So 1d23. That is a 23. That's the hand. I know that from memory. 1d10 plus 1, so not a really high chance to I have like a 40% chance to even wound this. And I wounded it. So we moved the top card. I don't know what it is. Alright, so all that's left is 2 moods and grasp. So we have a pretty good amount of control here. For her movement action, I will go ahead and move her out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yuka, I'll go ahead and have her do 2 attacks. 2d10. 1 hit. 1d23. 3. The brow. Alright, if I wound it, it's going to do brain damage and do a basic action on me. Freaking A. 1d10 plus 2. That's a crit! Awesome. So that cancels that. All that's left is the discard pile, so I'm just going to roll a 1d3 to see what card I discard. It was 2. I get rid of alert. Or sorry, I wasn't supposed to look. That's my bad. But I now know there's only 1 mood left. Okay. That also cancels the wound effect, because it cancels all reactions. It also gives it -1 accuracy, which is something I definitely want it to have right now. There you go. So it's got 2 cards left. I'm going to go ahead and have Yuka move out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, I could have Raimyu attack, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the next card. Next card is Grasp again. Let me pull that up because I don't know what it'll target. Grasps, closest survivor in range. Closest survivor in range is Yuka. So now this is going to hit on 6s instead of 5s because of the -1 accuracy. Missed. Okay, good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and have Elise move and go ahead and make... this is risky. I'll go ahead and make an attack. I hit 1d23, 15. Sorry if it's going a little slow here. We're kind of running into some issues, obviously. So brow was 3, and then 15. Wait, what was the one that we wounded with that? Oh, that was the hand. Let's get that too. Sorry about that. There you go. Updated. Okay, tail. This has a reflex, which means it's going to happen no matter what, which is actually really bad for us. Especially when it doesn't wound. Alright, so it's going to charge forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's going to drag both of those characters. So I'll put you there. Put you there. 1d6 to Chiri first. That is the body. That is enough to give her a severe wound. And then 1 to Yuka. That is also enough to give her a severe wound. Alright, let's start with Chiri first. Chiri gets 5. This battle is absolutely brutal. Disemboweled. Your movement is reduced to 1 until Showdown ends. Gain 1 bleed token. Skip the next hunt. If you suffer disemboweled during a showdown, at least 1 other survivor must live to the end of that showdown to carry you back to the settlement. Otherwise, you die at the end. Okay. Good to know. So Chiri is disemboweled. Skip next hunt. Movement's at 1. 1 bleed token. Alright, that means with this luck, that means Yuka's going to die. 5. She is also disemboweled. That does 1. Yep, 1 bleed token, and also skip the next hunt. That is brutal. All right, good stuff. This also knocked both of them down because they got dragged away. Good job, guys. Does Chiri have any survival left? She does. All right, so I can rely on her. I could try attacking. Wouldn't really make much of a difference. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what, Raymond? Go ahead and join the Get Wrecked Club by counterattacks. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because if it tramples forward again, it's going to freaking wreck Chiri more. Alright, so next card. I already know what it is. It's ground fighting. So ground fighting is now in play. So now it's not going to move at all. This also means we can freely move around, and we definitely need to, because both of these characters can only move one space at a time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I can. So with this, I can actually stay out of range, which is great. And we'll move Cheery there. Reimu can stay there. And thanks to the +2 range, I'm within range to attack. So I can attack freely until I hit, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the 1d23. 17. We're having a lot of trouble causing wounds now. Okay, 17. 1d10 plus 3. That is a wound. So this will cause the discard pile to get discarded, which is Grasp, and then Ground Fighting gets put in the discard pile. So you see what I just did there? It means I can just pass the turn, and now it's the cat's turn. It's going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and draws Ground Fighting again. That's really all that's going to happen. So it's not going to move. All right, I'll have Elise attack until she hits, which means I just go ahead and roll a 1d23. This is the beauty. You need to get darts as soon as possible, just in case Ground Fighting ever comes up, because otherwise you're going to be relying on freaking Founding Stones. And it's a trap card, so everything gets reshuffled. This is our 5th trap card, by the way. This is not even a 1d20, this is a 1d23, so it's even less than 5% to freaking get this multiple times. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of range. So that much is spared. Beyond that, though, it's pretty much a lot of trouble. I can still go ahead and freely attack until I get a 1d23 again, so I'll go ahead and do that. 3. As the brow again. If I get a crit on that, that'll help. Anyway, 1d10 plus 3. That is a wound that will actually kill it. Because what's going to happen, Ground Fighting is in play, which means there's no cards left in the deck, and so this wound's going to kill it. And that's the end of the battle. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. So let's review. No one died. So we'll go with that. We also got 2 Broken Lantern resources out of that. So that's also good. I'm just set these to the side now. But oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Reimu levels up. Yuka gets that. Cheery gets that. I'll go ahead and just remove these tokens because they don't matter. Elise has a broken rib. Is also skipping next hunt. 3 of our characters are missing the next hunt, which is crazy. Wow, that's excessive. We took some. What hurt us was the freaking mudslide. The mudslide wrecked a lot of people's everyone's chest, and the chest is the most common location to hit. Luckily, Yuka didn't suffer anything that's permanent. It's just she's going to have to skip the next hunt. I do kind of want to keep her alive because of the plus luck, even though she never critted. But honestly, we like I said, we did pretty good. We did get 2 Broken Lanterns out of that, which can be really useful later on. So I want to go ahead and do the Age event, because we need to do that. So Story Events, Age. So here's Age event. I showed this before. Nothing too fancy. And the Age event, I can now pick a weapon proficiency for Reimu. So if whatever I feel like, I can make it. I can decide it upon before I leave for a hunt. If I change my weapon proficiency, it will erase all experience I gained in that previous proficiency, so be aware of that. So, with that said and done, I need to roll a 2d10 and add them together. So 2d10 for Reimu. That is 14. 14 is a random fighting art. So that's a 1d20, because there are 20 cards in the fighting art deck, and I got 1. Luckily, that's not a trap card. We get Ambidextrous. All melee weapons in your gear grid gain paired. Ambidexterity cannot be used if there are any shields, two-handed weapons, or heavy gear in your gear grid. What paired does is you put, as long as they're the same weapon, you can put them together and add their speed together. So, for example, if I wanted to, I could get 2 founding stones, in which case it would have 4 speed, 7 accuracy, and 1 strength. So it's something at least. One ambidexterity thing that's probably really good, interesting to do is probably dual wielding bone darts, maybe. But it wouldn't really take advantage of the fact that Reimu has access to proficiencies. So there is that as well. All right, with that all said and done, let's cash out. So, a few things to note about defeating the cat. The first time you beat the white lion, the first time the white lion is defeated, add the Caterium to the settlement locations. The group gains the following rewards. All right, so we get 4 basic and 4 lion rewards like before, but we also get the Caterium. The Caterium is exactly what you might think it is. It's a location where you can take all that cat material and make cat-based weapons. So there's a armor set here that's essentially called the White Lion set. So you can use the White Lion's fur to make armor from it, which has its own benefits. There's also a bunch of different weapons like the Lion Beast Katars, which are like claws and stuff like that. And yeah, all good things. But let's go ahead and roll 40, 19. Reroll any duplicates. So that's 7, 9, 15, and 18. Seven is a great cat bone, so we got another one of those. 9 is a lion claw again. 15 and 18. 15 is sinew, which is an organ. It can be used to make bows. Definitely a nice thing to have. And what was the last one? 18. 18 is a white fur. Luxurious and soft to the touch. It's a hide. Fortunately, we didn't get very much white fur, but that's usually how it is. Alright, and we also need to do 40, 21. We will re-roll anything that's a broken lantern. 4 is a love juice. This is an organ, but you can also consume it to do an intimacy event automatically without having to do auguries. 13 is a monster hide. 15 is also a monster hide. And 21 is a wild card. This can be either an organ, bone, or hide, your choice. It's probably going to be an organ, because we need those. Okay, and that is everything. So now we get to return and continue on with the settlements shit. That was a rough fight. Usually the year 1 White Lion fight is generally one of the toughest, especially if you innovate on the first year, which I usually do, because you need the tech. You need to take advantage of the technology you have as often as possible, because it definitely helps in the end game. But it does mean you have less resources for getting armor and all that good stuff. So that definitely was something we had to deal with. But yeah, when we come back, we'll start year 2, and that's going to also do some crazy events and all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah, and maybe we'll finally get our first newborn character, which will be pretty good for us. So I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.